Well, hello, happy Thursday to all of you. It is your professional life coach here, and I am so excited to be back before you again. Hey, girl, hey. And so today I want to continue our conversation talking about the dynamics of family, and I'm probably going to be here another week, maybe, we'll see. But I want to dive in here, but before I do, let's make sure that we like, subscribe, follow, and share. Help me get the word out. I'm trying to grow this page, so share this, post it. Send it to somebody you know that needs it, all right? All right, let's talk. All right, so the first thing that I want to say is that the family is the first thing that is always attacked, okay? Everything in this world revolves around family. And one thing that I notice is that the devil hates the family dynamic. He does not want a family to be functional. So what does he do? He tries to find every way possible to get in there and to mess up the dynamics of the family. But the devil is a lie. We're going to make sure that we try to fix ours. All right. All right. Let's dig a little deeper. Now, if you have not recognized everything in our society, from our schools to the grocery stores, to retail stores, to schools, factories, everything is revolved around making sure that we are able to have everything that we need, whether it's building homes, cars, whatever it is. It's all centered around the premise of a family. Family is something that we do not, especially in this society, and in America especially. If you go to other countries, they are very big on family. They are pressing the importance of family. That is in their traditions. They are taught from little kids about family dynamics. In America, they like to break up families, whether it is systematically making sure that the father cannot be in the home or whatever it is. Their biggest thing is they want to make sure that they can mess up the family dynamic so the family does not operate the way that it's supposed to. So because of that fact, we have to purposely make sure that we're doing everything to tell society and the devil that may work for other people, but that's not going to work over here. All right, so today I want to really focus in on loving people for who they are. Loving people for who they are. Let me give you a little premise around that, and we're going to just dissect it more. So a couple of years ago, I was dating this guy, and he was a really, really good guy, right? But he was missing some of the things that I really wanted in a man. And so Chanel acted like he was Build-A-Bear and started trying to build these things on this man. And this man was literally trying to become all of those things. And so one day I was talking to my best friend, and she was like, that is so unfair that what you're doing to him. And I was like, what? And she was like, you're trying to make him into this man that he's not. She said, and because of that, later on, he's going to resent you. And so, at first I was like bucking against it. I was just like, oh, you're wrong. I'm not trying to do that. I believe, this, that, and the other. And then it was like God just began to teach me, like, Chanel, he's got potential to be a lot, but he doesn't have a desire to be that. But he's trying to do that to please you. And he can't handle the weight of that call. He can't handle the mission of what you are trying to put him in because you're in it. And so I sat back one day and I was watching him, and I was watching him literally struggle trying to operate as, in a dimension that I operate in, and he couldn't handle it. And I was like, oh, wow. I saw it really plainly and clear. And it was like, now I got to do something about it because God allowed me to see it. And so what I began to realize, if you are with someone and you don't like them for who they are, that is not your person. Now, there's one thing of that is who they are, and they are already doing things to make sure that that's who they are. But for you to give it to them, try to train them in it, and try to make them into it, that's a big mistake, because that means you're not loving them for who they are, and then you're cheating yourself of who they are. If that person doesn't match your vision, that just means that's not your person. Move on. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you have a mother. She's not very motherly at all. She's emotionless. You've never had hugs. But what she did do is make sure you had a house, make sure you had food, make sure you had clothes, make sure you was in bed, right? And you're upset because you wanted the emotional part, but you got everything else. Let me tell you how you begin to look at that. Because what you're dealing with is you've got a mother who was mistreated by her mother. She was never embraced by her mother. She was never shown love by her mother or father. Now, you want her to be what your friend's mother is, who is all loving and hugging and kissing and nurturing, and that ain't what you got. So my friend's mother and I were having a conversation one day, and I was talking about this situation, and I was just all upset. And she was like, quit trying to ask them to make, being upset with them for wanting them to do something that they don't have the ability to do. They don't have that ability to give you that love that you're desiring, and you're mad. She said, try loving them for who they are and what they are doing. The other may work itself out later on, but as long as you are in your feelings and you going off and you should do this for me and you should do that and you should be this, they don't have that ability. Like, seriously, there are some people that never experience love. They don't know how to get it. Some people have been so scarred that they don't know how to love. And so you have to love people for who they are. If they don't meet your quality standard of how you feel like they should be talking and acting, don't throw that person away, because they're still a good person. They're just not meeting your demand. So when you get to that place, you have to understand that not everybody is you. Not everybody's going to love like you. But not everybody loves the same way as you do. So that parent that spent time making sure you had everything grew up in a house where they didn't get anything. So their main thing for themselves they weren't thinking about love. They don't understand that. But what they do understand is, I want to make sure they have everything that I didn't have. So remember this. They were showing you love. See, that's why we have to talk about the 5 love languages. Everybody loves different. Some people love by giving gifts. They may not say the words, but they were loving you, but just not in the way that you want it. We've got to stop punishing people because they are not loving us the way that we desire. They're not doing things the way that we desire. Now, there's a difference between they ain't doing nothing. They are outright blatantly showing you, I don't care about you at all. You can jump off the cliff and I don't care. There's that's a real thing. But there's also a real thing of, I feel like you should have loved me like this. When they were loving you, but just not the way that you desired. When you see that you were really loved and they were loving you the way that they could and they knew how, you need to give them grace. And then you love them the way that you desire. In this situation that I was talking to my friend, mother, when I stopped demanding to be loved the way that I wanted to be, me and this person got close. Relationship began to heal because I began to love them for who they really were, not what I desired for them to be. So in closing, I just want to say this. There's a lot of relationships in your life that could be better and healed if you stop trying to make them be who they're not. If they're not the lovey kind, they're not the lovey kind. But they'll take the shirt off their back and give it to you. Give their car to you if you ask. Move out of their house and move into an apartment so you can have a house. That was love for them. So love is not upon what you desire. It's actually exchanged in what they do. Because there's many people that can look you in the face and say they love you and won't do nothing for you. I heard this saying, you can give without loving, but you can't love without giving. Let me say that again. You can give to somebody and not love them. But there's no way that you can love someone and not give to them. And that can be emotional, that can be physical, that can be just little touch. Whatever it is, know that everybody has their own love style, and you have to be able to deal with the way they love and love them for who they are. When you do that and you stop expecting them to love you with your love language and realize they have a love language, you'll start healing more relationships in your life than you tear them down. All right. There is our Thursday conversation, baby. We talked it out. I hope I helped you some. If you have a question, put it below and I'll answer it.